My name is Matthew Peter Yeomans, and I recently completed the 6-week Impeccable Man Master Class. I experienced some radical transformations in my life. I experienced some incredible breakthroughs. One of the biggest things for me is I changed my relationship with self-care. It became one of my absolute #1 priorities. And if it wasn't for Deus and his teachings and his practical approach to merging spirituality and science and offering usable tools to equip men specifically in this program, to experience breakthroughs in their life, I wouldn't have been able to do this alone. In the last 2.5, nearly 3 years, I've spent over $10,000 of my own money on personal development courses and programs, seminars, and I've never felt, after completion, this equipped is really the right word to use. I feel equipped to move through challenges in a new way, and I am so incredibly grateful. I am so incredibly grateful for the breakthroughs that I've had, for the practical teachings that Deus has applied in this program. He is an absolute wealth of knowledge. And what I think the biggest reason that I was able to soak up so much out of this program was 2 things. Firstly, it was my commitment to myself to do everything that he asked. Because I've spent so much money in the past few years on courses and programs and seminars to learn more about myself and better myself, always taking away something, but not always feeling equipped to apply that knowledge and that wisdom into my life, I fully committed to surrender all of my previous knowings, all of my previous practices and approaches to spirituality, to personal development, to business, to life. Surrender that to this program for 6 weeks to give it a real honest shot. And the second reason is that Deus was right there. He met me where I was at in a way that I haven't felt before. And one of the things that I found in my journey of finding different mentors is that oftentimes I find mentors that are so far ahead. You know, when I go and see Tony Robbins, it's like he is light years ahead of me in so many different ways. So it's hard for me to grasp on to his processes and practices when I'm home, when I'm by myself, when I'm here with me. But I can grab them when I'm in front of him at his seminars, and I can feel it and be like, yes. But then when I'm back, you know, in my default location, default area, it's a much different experience. And Deus has an incredible way of meeting people where they're at. He met me where I was at, just from his videos. I felt heard. I felt honored. I felt seen. And because of that, I was truly able to receive the wisdom and be motivated to apply the processes and to apply the tools that he was teaching. I still felt resistance. I still had opposition. My opposition was fear. It was self-doubt. It was crippling fear of rejection. And I was able to combat those through his processes, to move through the fear and apply everything that he taught us. I had breakthroughs around lack and abundance, and I came into more wealth than I've ever had in my life. And if it wasn't for me surrendering to myself, surrendering to this program, I wouldn't have been able to receive the wisdom and the teaching that was being offered to me. I had breakthroughs around self-care. I honor myself so much now. I had breakthroughs around being able to feel what's in my body and use the wisdom of my body to dictate how I'm feeling and how I need to move through processes to work through hidden traumas and hidden blockages that I've been having in my life. I know there's so much that I've soaked up in my mind over the years that hasn't been integrated in my neurological faculties, in the systems of my body. It's when my body knows, I really know. I really know. Like when my body gets it, when it's a default, when it's a habit for my body to feel these things, to feel abundance. I know what abundance is. I know what I want abundance to be in my life. Like I know what having enough is. But when I feel that I have enough and that I am enough, it's a much different experience. It's much more integrated and it's much more seamless in my life. I feel like I'm being pulled and guided and I can receive the guidance in my life. There is so much wisdom that Deus has packed into this program. It's shocking, and I feel like the few gold nuggets that I took away have applied deeply into my life and offered me a true transformation in certain areas. And I am excited to go through this course again to soak up even more. It's like a good book. You just have to keep reading it. I need to be reminded more than I need to be taught. And I'm truly excited for you if you're looking at this program. I knew Deus was at the next step for me. He wasn't a million steps ahead of me. He was right there at the next step, and his hand was reachable. He wasn't standing at the top of the mountain saying, "Come meet me here." He came down the mountain, offered his hand, and be like, "Come with me, let's do this together. I'll show you how to do it."